In the lawless borderlands of Myanmar, 6 people walked into a private clinic for a routine checkup. Only 5 walked back to the dormitories. The 6th was never seen again because his blood was too perfect. This is the organ night market, where your O-negative blood type isn't a medical fact. It's a $100,000 bounty. You aren't here to work. You are the inventory. If you think your life is worth more than a line item in a digital ledger, you've never seen the spreadsheets inside KK Park. Awei was desperate. The pandemic had wiped out his savings, and the debt collectors were starting to call. Every morning was a cycle of anxiety, and every night was a search for a way out. Then, a message appeared in a Telegram group. Customer service representative in Cambodia. $5,000 a month. Free flight. 5-star hotel. To someone with nothing, it looked like a miracle. It was a death sentence. Awei didn't tell his family the full details. He promised to be back in 3 months. When he landed in Sihanoukville, the humidity was thick, and the air smelled of salt and exhaust, but the welcome was cold. His passport was taken the moment he stepped off the plane. For administrative processing, they said. He was bundled into a van with blacked-out windows and driven for 12 hours across the border into Myanmar, into a place known as KK Park. KK Park is not a park. It is a fortress, surrounded by 10-foot walls, armed guards in mismatched uniforms, and coils of razor wire. It sits in the Myawaddy region, a lawless gray zone where the central government has no reach. Thousands of people are trapped here, living in cramped dormitories. They are the frontline soldiers of a multi-billion-dollar industry known as Sha Zhu Pan, or pig butchering. The architecture of this scam is more sophisticated than any bank heist. It is built on a 150-page psychological manual that every captive worker must memorize. The process is divided into 2 clinical phases, the fat feeding and the butchering. In the fat feeding phase, the worker's only job is to build a digital persona that feels more real than life. They use high-end AI voice changers to mimic soft, comforting tones. They use stolen identities of successful young professionals, photos of luxury cars, high-end dinners in Singapore, and sunsets in Bali. They don't ask for money, not at first. They offer emotional intimacy. They spend 3 months feeding the victim with attention, late-night secrets, and the promise of a future together. They wait for the victim to mention a financial worry, and then they accidentally mention a high-yield investment app. It looks legitimate. It has real-time charts. It shows the victim making a small profit of a few $100s. This is the bait. Once the victim fattens their account with their life savings, the butchering begins. The app freezes. The lover disappears. The customer service agent demands a 30% tax to release the funds. It is a psychological trap designed to strip a human being of their wealth and their dignity simultaneously. But Awei was failing. He wasn't good at the scripts. He couldn't find the right words to manipulate strangers over the internet. He couldn't lie well enough to steal. In the economy of KK Park, there is no room for a conscience. If you aren't producing capital through scams, you are viewed as a depreciating asset. And when an asset stops generating revenue, the syndicate looks for a way to liquidate it. One night, Awei was taken to a sterile medical clinic inside the compound. They didn't tell him why. They drew his blood. They ran an ultrasound on his kidneys and liver. They checked his eyesight with clinical precision. A few days later, he saw a sticker on his file. a bright red circle with the letter O, specifically O negative. He didn't realize it then, but he had just been marked as a high-value asset. In the illicit red market, O negative is the universal donor. It is the most coveted inventory a syndicate can hold because it can be transplanted into almost anyone with a lower risk of rejection. How does a monster find its prey in the modern age? It buys a sponsored ad on your Facebook feed. Investigators in Taipei later began a forensic audit of the digital trail left by the snakehead recruiters. They found that the trap is built on sophisticated psychological manipulation. These ads use keywords like no experience required, overseas Chinese community, and full medical benefits. That medical benefit line is a pre-screening tool. By getting applicants to submit routine medical checkups before they even board their flights, the organ night market knows exactly what's inside the inventory before it even reaches the warehouse. In one recovered Telegram chat, a recruiter known only as Blue Dragon was seen haggling over a victim's price. He didn't send a photo of the man's face. He sent a screenshot of his blood work and his organ health report. The message read, O negative, lungs clear, non-smoker, ready for export. They aren't looking for workers. They are looking for matches. Once a match is made, the logistics of the red market take over. This is a race against biology. Unlike a laptop or a car, a human organ has an expiration date. Once a kidney is removed, it has a 24-hour window before it becomes useless. A liver has 12 hours. A heart has only 4. This means the organ night market cannot operate in a vacuum. It requires a high-speed, cold chain infrastructure. When a buyer is identified, often a wealthy individual from a country with a 10-year waiting list, the syndicate activates a network of corrupt medical transport. They use private ambulances that look legitimate, complete with sirens and medical decals, to bypass military checkpoints at the Thai-Myanmar border. These vessels are equipped with specialized surgical coolers that maintain a constant temperature of 4 degrees Celsius. The transit routes are pre-negotiated with local officials who are paid in digital currency to look the other way. The surgery itself doesn't happen in a back alley. It happens in private, unlicensed wings of legitimate-looking hospitals in regional hubs. These facilities have 2 faces: the public floor, which treats routine illnesses, and the basement or high-security suites, where the inventory is processed. The medical staff are often disgraced surgeons or debt-ridden specialists who are paid 5 times their annual salary for a single night's work. They are the silent gears in a machine that turns a human being into a collection of high-priced components. To find the brain of the organ night market, you have to follow the money. It's invisible. It's digital. The syndicates have abandoned traditional banks. Instead, they move their profits through Tether, a stablecoin tied to the US dollar. In 2023 alone, billions of dollars flowed through digital wallets linked to the Myawaddy scam zones. This digital currency allows for just-in-time transactions. A surgery is scheduled for 3 a.m. The buyer clicks transfer. The funds are split across 1,000 different wallets in seconds through automated scripts. By the time the surgical lights are turned off, the money has already been laundered through multiple international exchanges and turned into luxury real estate or legitimate business holdings. This is the contrast that breaks our expectations of true crime. We expect organ thieves to be thugs with rusty scalpels. The reality is far more terrifying. They are tech-savvy accountants, professional recruiters, and corrupt medical staff. The system is a corporate machine where the raw material is human life. Awei survived only because of a stroke of luck and a massive bribe paid by his family after months of frantic searching. They had to sell their home to pay the exit fee demanded by the guards. But he returned a changed man. He speaks of the inventory ledger, a book he saw once in the administrator's office that listed names, blood types, and specific prices. A kidney for $100,000, a liver for $150, corneas for $30. As you watch this, the ledger is being updated. A new job offer has just been posted on a message board. Someone is reading it right now. They're thinking about the high salary. They're thinking about their dreams. And the night market is waiting for them to click apply. Be careful what you search for, because in the shadows of the digital world, sometimes the mystery finds you first. Join the Treehouse crime investigation. Subscribe for more forensic deep dives into the unexplained noir of Asia. Stay vigilant. Stay safe.